What's up, LoreHounds? It's Cooper here in the Hi-Rez Studios booth. I'm here with the COO, Todd Harris. Behind us, we got Smite going on. So this is your take on the MOBA genre.
Yeah, that's right. It's our twist on MOBA. We want to shake up the genre a bit. Basically, we're adding a third-person camera and WASD movement. So a lot more action combat inside the MOBA genre.
Yeah, so the massive online battle arena, but we're down in the world to the point where you can get blindsided because you're looking the wrong way because it's completely third person.
That's right. Yeah, the cameras are pretty close behind your character, so you can't zoom the camera way out. You can't click around the map to see where the enemies are. So you were exactly right. I mean, a character may come out of the jungle and catch you completely by surprise. Amir will throw his ice wall in front of you. You know, Bastet will unleash her cats, and all that stuff will take you by surprise. So you definitely have to turn around, look where you're going, and also coordinate a lot with your teammates.
Yeah, just awareness and coordination seems huge.
Yep.
But you also mentioned, you know, some of the names you just threw out are the actual mythological gods, and that's the whole. That's everybody. You're not making your own universe so much as kind of taking pieces from different cultures. What cultures are we looking at so far?
Yeah, so Smite is educational as well. You can get your little dash of culture in with your gaming. So we're drawing from 5 pantheons, or basically universes of gods to start with. So we have Greek, so gods, the most familiar one would be Zeus. We have Norse gods like Odin. We have Egyptian gods like Anubis, the god of the dead. We have Indian gods like Kali, the multi-armed vampiric kind of assassin. And what did I leave out? Did I hit Chinese, I think, like Hebo above us, the water god, or Sun Wukong, who's in a lot of other MOBA games. So those are the 5 pantheons we're starting with, and then we'll add more over time.
I was just going to say, are we going to try and confuse people with Greek versus Roman? We could have that quiz in there at some point. So the game plays a lot like many other MOBAs, where you go down the lane, you kind of farm it, and then you fight each other. What other flares do you guys have besides, you know, the mythological gods, and then also the absolutely thing I love, which is being able to completely blindside somebody?
Yeah, the combat's the major thing that makes it different. The map layout will be generally familiar to people. There's 3 lanes. There's minions. You're pushing towers. We've put a few twists. Your final towers, your inhibitors, if you will, are actually phoenixes that respawn. So if I take down your phoenix in, say, the left lane, then I'll start to spawn flaming minions, and they'll do more damage. And the final end objective, rather than a base or a nexus or an altar, is actually a minotaur. So again, keeping with the theme. When you get to the minotaur, he comes alive, and it's kind of like a mini boss fight at the end, as well as the minions and the team fight all in the mix. And then there's a concept of jungling also, so you can go through and collect buffs, and deep within the jungle, the major boss to kill basically is a fire giant, which will give you a huge team-wide buff.
We've actually seen a previous build. You guys have made some major changes to the characters. A lot of the spells are different, and I'm sure that was for balance. We've also seen the introduction of about 8 or so new heroes. What are some of those heroes that have been introduced recently? Yeah,
so really we've only taken the build to public a few times. PAX Prime was the last time, and we've added quite a few new gods here for PAX East. Some of the latest gods would be Agni, which is a multi-headed fire god. We have Vamana, which is a really interesting god from Indian or Hindu mythology. Basically, Vamana starts out as a dwarf-sized baby carrying an umbrella, but he can transform into one of the biggest characters in the game. You know, he blows up like the size of the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man, and then he can tank really hard, and if you hit him in that state, you're only doing yourself a disservice. So he and his umbrella are fun to wield.
One of the big things is you guys are free to play. All your games to this date are free to play, and that often brings in a large casual community because you just have such a low barrier to entry. We've noticed that you guys have taken a different turn on the MOBA, where you actually have a build system built for casual gamers where it can just auto build completely from scratch. What was the idea behind that?
Yeah, well, first I think you're right. You know, with all of our games, we're trying to be accessible in that it's a free-to-play game, but we also don't think that means the gameplay has to be dumbed down at all. We want there to be a very high skill ceiling. You know, the keyboard controls, just using WASD and mouse, there's a lot of players of PvP MMOs that'll find that very familiar. Even things like last hit mechanics we tried to make very accessible.
What was the theory behind getting to the, you know, catering in that respect?
Right, yeah, and so then of course the one feature that you mentioned was auto skill, which is really nice. So if you want to not have to go through the initial hassle of choosing your items or even the order of unlocks, you can take Travis, our lead designer, you can take his tips and just play Travis's build.
Can you actually build ahead of time what you would want it to auto build and have that as a set thing for you while you're learning and just choose the same things every time?
We don't have that feature yet. I think that's a very good feature. It's on the roadmap, but it's not in the current build. But we'd like the idea where you could even publish a build, whether it's for yourself or maybe I could follow you as a really good player and take your recommended play build for Hebo and own with that.
So we got Smite. We got the Arena of Gods for us. We got 15 set, and that's what we're going with for launch.
That's what we're going with for beta. We've got another set that are already in the queue, so I think we'll be closer to 20 by launch, give or take. And then we plan approximately once a month to release new ones. And of course, it's a free-to-play game, like you said, so the idea is you can get gods faster by paying for them, but you can unlock them just by playing the game. And we'll also have cosmetic skins that people can play.
Fantastic. So the $1,000 question is, when can we start getting our hands on it and get super excited for the game?
When it's ready, of course. I mean, so we're in closed alpha right now with a really tight group of very experienced MOBA and Dota players. Before the end of this month, we'll start the closed beta process. So we'll start giving away keys, and then we'll ramp up from there. So, you know, by Q3 of this year, we hope to have a large number of people playing Smite with us.
Is that what we're looking for Smite's release, Q3?
I think that's about the right time frame, yeah.
Well, thanks so much, Todd.
All right, very good. Thanks for checking it out today.